joining us today for Enlightenment through Meditation. This is 10th class.
Total Effects user Kim Scott still looks amazing, but with kids growing up fast, fighting 7 signs of aging gets harder. Introducing Total Effects Moisturizer Plus Serum. For the 92 practices, 2 proms, and 1 driving test yet to come, she'll need our most concentrated Total Effects ever.
Education, determination, and success. So we want to make sure that we do the spirituality, we bring the determination, and then we succeed into path of spirituality. Then we will start. We had a meditation and I'll come back and share why this picture I put there, What is meditation? We went over in a lot of detail. Everyone is thinking about. If I think about a park, I'm meditating on a park. About a movie, I'm meditating on. Likewise, if my payments are not made for my mortgage, I'm meditating on that. Or I have one property, I need to acquire another property, or my marriage, how come I cannot stay married, and blah blah. Whatever comes. That really means meditating means that we are constantly thinking. I'm driving and I'm thinking about why I just cannot get married in this world. I am literally meditating on that. What does meditation mean when wow.
You okay?
The purpose of meditation in this case is that is what we will be meditating. Divine. And then we have gone into a lot of things. There is a that rider is the mind, and we are in. That's divine law. We are not making the day, we are not capable, but it comes to us. Night, air is there, the water has been made, things are already done. So beyond that, our mind can anytime. From divine comes us, and that drop of divine, so let's say of consciousness, from here it came, and all these millions of not only human being, but every is a drop that comes, make it live. So if you look at the grass and correct it is, artificially we can give it colors, but the real bug will never go on an artificial grass. Because it knows it has that divine consciousness, and grass is divine consciousness, and that never goes there. But therefore this, when it travels down, divine entities, but because in a mind, this is so big of a covering that this. Therefore, if you read many scriptures, all one, we are not different from each other, don't hate each other, because somebody who is just seeing, they will right across penetrate through the mind and see that light. When they see the light, they can care less what this mind is, how one layer of filth or 100 layer of filth, it is still filth. That is why it comes like see thy neighbor as thyself, because you are a drop of consciousness, that person is a no fights that go on. So our purpose of really meditation, which we will go into, is to merge with divine. How do we merge into the divine? Have the next one. So why should we meditate? I mean, that is another question. Why should we merge into divine? There is no need. There are movies, there is food, there is life, there is brother, there is sister, there is everything. Why should we meditate? What is the need? What it will make us that we don't have as if today? Or merging into the divine. So sometimes we think that if I don't admitted to college one, but I go to college two, and then there I don't like, and I decide to, you know what, I'm not gonna study this. All happens. So that means it's not in our control, but we falsely think that it is. Go back and look at your life, you will find many things that did not happen. I can fill this out later. There is really no rush for it. Yeah. Not giving you that, but it's okay. So there is really no, because whatever happens in life, if you go back and even look in your past, you will find that it was all happening and how we were being a player in it. Nobody asked us to do something or not do it, but it came in front of us and we made the decision. You know, you are going somewhere, you meet with a guy. You didn't know that guy, but now you met with the guy. Now the decision came, should, however he acts, you make a decision on this. So many things, little by little, itself. And we may like it or we may not like it, that is a different choice. There comes mind, there comes acceptance or rejection. We can only do two things, accept it or reject it, but it will come. And sometimes even we want to reject what we don't like, it doesn't reject itself. It sticks. A lot of us go through, we say we are going through a tough time. That's not we want a tough time, but it is coming. And meditation, as we go into more classes and learn more the principles of divine, we will get into a point where this will not bother us, so-called. There won't be any turmoils. Why we go through what we go through, that's another thing of meditation, which is really, go to somebody, sometimes we go to those people, they don't do anything, but we feel good. Oh, he told me that when I was 7 years old, I did this, and the future is come. Nobody knows. Even the person doesn't know. And if he knew so much, he wouldn't be sitting there and worrying about, did I make enough money? But he's telling future to others. But through the proper meditation, right, for the meditation, you automatically will be told. You don't need to ask, because if this is the consciousness, to be wet. The question is, would I get wet? What you have to do, you have to jump into it. To jump into it, you must know how to swim. You must have the clothing around you. You must know how long you can stay there. All these things are necessary to know. Then only you can swim in here, right? That becomes the role and part of meditation. And generally people go to meditation class looking to find something that magically will change their life. It doesn't happen. I don't know anyone who can do that. And then they leave. The person who is telling also calls, come to my class and I will help you. But he himself or she himself is not helped. Because for true meditation, it's a path of sacrifice. Have to give in 100% of you. When you dip into something, you have to give. You cannot say, I'll stand here, but let me taste this water. It doesn't happen. So whenever you get into meditation, you have to give 100%. You haven't, you can enjoy it for discussion, for gossip. It's a topic and you can discuss it. But would it give you benefit? I don't think so. Now the question comes how to meditate. And this is very interesting. And as I say, me standing here does not make me an expert. There's always a proper way. I don't want to say improper way, but a lost. Like if I'm standing here and this is my target, I know. Then there is another person who knows there is a target but has no clue how to get there. So if he is going this direction and whoever is he's calling with him and his followers, they are going this way. Destination. Who knows where he's gonna go? How long it will the journey might take. So if we do not know how to or what is the way, how do we find out what is the way? Then it becomes really, really difficult just not to know. Now the questions automatically will come. How do we know if we are going on to the right way? How do we, as I said, we have only a mind. There is always a mind and heart, which goes on. And we have discussed enough in the past classes. But how do we know at the level of mind that am I at the right place? How do you guys know you're at the right place? It's just mind evaluating. Clara is going, I'm going to hear Dr. Carr today and see how I like it or no. or I mean, it's a general person. I use you just an example. But anybody who comes, they bring their minds with them and they want to know, do I have the right place? Is this the proper way and the known way? Or it is the lost way or the unknown way. So this always go. So when we move on to our next slide, it goes, so how do we know? For knowing, there are two things, these are the things which literally become very critical if you really want to know, because we call it the path of truth. Meditation is that you want to find that truth that is ever existing. Sun always comes out. Stars are always there. Water is always there. However he runs, all of us have a mind. All of us have a consciousness. All of us have lots of things common. It is not like God is mad at me, so today I cannot do this. And God is mad at me, so air he stopped. Or things like those. And those are beyond. Those are descriptions. When we get very deep into the class, we would do. But overall, there has to be a true desire for meditation, or if we want to follow the path of truth. Why? Because we are after truth. I always share that if you look within your hearts, I do it all the time, within your hearts, if I don't care if this is the layer, you go to the 1 millionth layer. If there is a maligness in your thought process, you know, or I know. Nobody else will know. If I stand here and I say I am the best, and inside I know that I don't even know anything about this topic, only I know. I can still present me the best teacher, but I'm not. Deep inside I know. Similar thing happens to everybody. Whenever you have a heart, you know where you stand. Everybody knows. So there has to be, when you go into meditation to find the divine, there has to be a true desire to find the divine. There should not be, I need to have the house. To find the house, I should meditate. And because I need to meditate, I should be able to get the house. That is not the true desire to find the divine. That is a true desire to find the house. And therefore you are meditating. Therefore you are meditating on the house, not really onto the divine. So we have to be pure to who? To ourselves. True to who? To ourselves. And this is the path of truth. Cannot read fine. So that becomes the first part, that we have to know within ourselves. we were here.
That's what I got.
We have to have true desire. So let's say we found the true desire within ourselves. Now we know, yeah, that is the only thing I need. Then we need a true school. The schools, there are many schools out there, but do we know the true school whose desire is also to teach spirituality? Very difficult to know. How do we find that school? Who is going to give us the guidelines? Then even if we get to the school, how do we know there is a true teacher? How do we know? We don't know. This is not the game of mind, and this is all determinations we make at the level of mind, and this is beyond mind. And then we need the true dedication. So there are few things that are involved in true meditation, because here is the thing. When we get to the main source of divine, from where all the divine laws are made, all life is running, if we merge into it, then we become that drop. We do become that law. We make the law. We suddenly become lawmakers of divine. But to get to that, the most important thing is to become true, because that is truth. Right? Does it make sense? So, how do we get to true desire, true school, true teacher, true dedication? Too difficult. I found it very difficult. I can share my own story. It's very difficult to find. So now, when there is such a complex thing, there are always directions also given, but they are kind of hidden. You have to read them. Why you have to go to a school? Just think like that. If you want to get a degree, you have to first believe a desire that I need a degree. First you have to make sure I need a degree. Then you have to find a school that offers that degree, not any school. You cannot go to any school. So same thing applies for meditation. If you are going for meditation to find a house, yeah, you may be able to. Sit like that, do like this, activate following chakra, and you may be able to get all those, they are called the powers. You can acquire that power, the power will do for you. You fulfilled your desire, that's great. That is also there. But when you want to find the true divine, that is a different school. So then you need to find the school, and in day to day we apply USC, we apply UCR, we've tried many places. We might get admitted or no, that is also the thing. You may not be ready. A lot of people come to the class, they come to 2 classes and then they leave. That's not for them. The time hasn't arrived yet, There is nothing ever right or wrong. It's just the time is not there. Then what happens? You need a teacher. Why do you need a teacher? Why you cannot read the spiritual books at home and know it all? It's all written. Nothing is hidden in this world. There are Bibles, there are many other scriptures, there are many saints, but it's not available. Just like when you have to go to school, then you are given a test. You have to pass the test. If you cheat and pass, you cannot be successful in life because you cheated, as simple as that. There is no point in going to school. But if you worked hard and teacher gave you the test and you followed the instructions and did the homework and you passed, then you will be awarded a degree. Based on that degree, wherever you will get, number one thing will happen, you will get recognized, right? Because now you're walking with a degree. You will feel confident. Why? Because now you have a degree, you know ins and outs. Therefore, you need a true teacher. Teacher must know. Sometimes when we are too stuck in a book or trying to solve a puzzle, you go to the teacher and teacher goes, you know what? By reading the book, you cannot make it. Here is the equation you have to apply. It does happen. Teacher knows all that little things and he says from here to get to this level you need to apply this equation. When you get, he gives us the way by the hand, takes us by the hand, and then he takes us to the classroom, makes us to sit in the exam and pass so we can get awarded a degree. Even if you were so smart, if you didn't even need a teacher, you will not get a degree. You just cannot. You have to study and pass it. And then obviously you need the true dedication. So these are the things really necessary if we are talking to find something valuable in meditation to find the divine.
What we got?
That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so once we get to this and we have found the teacher, we have taken the test and we are moving on with that, what are we really looking for? Once this happens, the path of truth is just realize not so easy. So once we think, okay, my desire, I have a true desire, how I'm gonna find the teacher? Because there are 4 things. We need a teacher. How it's gonna happen? In that case, the divine looks at the desire within us. The divine plays in a very meticulous way. So what it does, it starts testing the desire. If somebody has a true desire, for example, it will happen that the somehow, some way, shape and form, it will so materialize that this individual who has the true desire will end up in a place where there is the discussion of the truth is going on, because it is the time and it is the true desire. Truth recognizes truth always. Truth and falsehood will never go hand in hand. It just doesn't work that way. So the first thing happens as soon as our desire becomes really truthful to us, not to anyone. If you are crying and your mother is not crying to find the truth, then it is only your quest and you will find. You cannot really share it with your mother, because at the level of mind, even if you do and if she is not interested, she cannot get the benefit. That is how this law of divine works. So let us say your desire is really strong now, like just the child. I always use the example, when the baby is born, the only thing baby does is cry. And the baby cries its heart out. The mother is always there taking care, like a hawk, literally. Mother knows now the child needs milk, now child needs changing. This cries like that. This is diaper change time, you know. Mother knows. How does she know? Because there is a connection of the heart. And as I was expressing, this is the drops. We are the same drops. So although we are small drop, but what is happening? The ocean, the culture is the same. It's liquid, that is liquid. If I breathe, that thing also breathes. I have small heart, it's a big heart. Character is the same. So that is why when the desire comes, because even for you to come here, if you look at it really, there was a desire. Clara was here yesterday and Arsene and Clara decided together, we're gonna be here today. And they are here today.
Yeah.
So,
And then I brought her.
and then you brought her. So,
Recognize them being here.
yeah, and then also all the people, thank you very much for watching us, but I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing all this with us here. But there has to be desire in you also to turn on, to find the link, to click on the link and be here. So if you notice and start going into it, you will realize everything starts from abstract, which we say we don't believe in, There are some people who go, I don't believe, I believe the body. But who is talking in the body, I don't believe. But how the thought is coming, I don't know. Who is saying me to say, I don't know? There are many people in the hospital, they cannot say, I don't know. Somebody is giving the power. A lot of people, you go to cemeteries, they are full, they cannot say, I don't know. Because that consciousness is gone from them. So this is all happens whenever there is a true desire. What does the baby do? He doesn't say, baby or she, whoever the baby is sex-wise, it never says, come give me milk. It just cries. Mother knows. So what happens when we cry that we need you? He needs already, or she needs, or the creative power, or the consciousness. You call it rat cat, mad dog, I really don't care, dirt or sky, some name, whatever you like. You can call him by that name, but that conscious entity, because we are the drops of that, it knows where it is hurting. Once we become that drop into the ocean, then there is no need to ask for this, because we don't know how big is the ocean. Ocean is really big. There is no end to ocean. You know, a drop will never know the ocean. The drop might say, oh, I will be really big if I become a combination of 6 drops, because drop only knows drop. Drop doesn't know there is something like ocean. So therefore, once we need to learn how to cry, that is our first thing, that we need you. And if we go back and look within our hearts, we never know even if we have cry for that reason. If we look deeper, many, many, many million layers, I think it's very rare to find that somebody is crying for the divine. I think we are all crying because of something. Either I'm having a rough time, or I'm not making enough money, or the economy is down, or the house condition is not good, or I mean, there are 1 million reasons. So this meditation that we do around here, that is the path of self-realization. Because the moment you have realized self within us, that we are the drop of that conscious ocean, then we just want to become that ocean. And how we will become the ocean, like I said, once the dead person, it's dead, everything is melted into everything, the consciousness goes to the consciousness, and it is everything. So our first lesson was also, when you become nothing, you become literally everything. That was our first lesson, and that lesson we always have to remember, to become nothing. And it is very difficult for us to really become nothing, because we never know how to become nothing. Nobody ever teaches us to become nothing. We are always told you have to become something. You need to become this. You need to become that. So here is the difference between the two. When you become nothing, you don't have to become dependent on others. This is not the teaching. It is becoming nothing where you have merged into everything. So let us say I have become nothing in my ego. Ashley comes and says, Dr. Kaur, I hate you, you know? And I go, okay, that's fine. Ashley, I was already under your feet when you walked from home. You stepped all over me 1 million times, and I loved every bit of it. So by you telling me one more time, I really love you more now, because you are breaking my ego. Actually, I am nothing. I couldn't have done anything. I couldn't have made the day. I couldn't have made the sky. I couldn't have done anything. And you are reminding me I love you for it. I think I would be benefited and she would be benefited, but that doesn't change. I still have a business. People still know me as Dr. Kaur. I can do whatever I'm doing, but that doesn't mean that I walk like a snob. I have many degrees, but that is good. That's good to have all those degrees, but I am not married to those degrees, you know. This was an educational qualification was necessary for me to do what I am doing, not what I have become. Everybody knows if you meet with someone and they give you a nice hug, number one, you will recognize that hug. You will know that it was a warm hug, it was a cold hug, it was a purposeful hug. You know that quality because it is within us. We may not say it, but we recognize it all the time, 100% of the time. So that is what we have to become nothing at the level of mind. It doesn't mean that our analytical power is gone. No, but what has gone when the client comes, you can sit and talk to them in love. You know, you can share with them something in love because they will express to you more. You will be able to help them more because now you have a connection. And half of the healing happens with love. True or no, Ashley? If somebody talks to you really lovingly, don't you feel like I'm light already?
Yeah.
They have taken so much load off of me. Still the same problem, but you feel better. I feel I can handle it. Suddenly the thought comes, I can handle it. Same thing, think we call in at least in the scriptures, we always refer to that creator as a father. Whoever came up with the name father, but they call him father, you know. So somebody must have felt him or that conscious entity as father, and he named father. We, on the contrary, never felt him as father, but we copied that person. Because he called father and we liked the scripture, we said we will call him also father, but we have no connection. So when we go, Father, help us, there is no connection. Mother only helps when we cry because we have a connection. So what we need to do? Develop the connection. How we are going to develop the connection? By having a true desire, finding a true teacher, finding a true school, and doing truth to us. And without doing truth to us, it's gonna become very difficult, because after you leave from here, you may like whatever I'm saying really well, really much, but we still have the mind, and mind has been developed. If you are 10 years old, it's been developed for 10 years. If you are 20 years old, it has been developed for 20 years. If you're 100 years old like me, then it has been developed for 100 years, you know. So it has been developed all this time for all those number of years, where this talk, maybe this may be your first ever time you are listening. So how can you adopt to this so quickly? Therefore, it's not easy. But if you leave your analytical mind there and you can feel the sense, you can sense the love and the benignness of this love, your heart will like it right away. Your heart will say, there is something good about it. I like it. I want to go back there. I want to hear it more. Because that path one day might take me to that divine ocean where I really want to go. So does it go back to you again? Yeah, the ball is in your court again. Why? Because you have to decide. I cannot decide for you. You need to know, yeah, I have a true desire. When there is a true desire of finding something, we leave 100 things to go there. And I'm telling you, I always joke, if I was driving to a meditation place and if there was a sale, Macy's was giving 80% off, my car, let's go there. Because it's only for 2 hours. That's our mind, so fickle. It is so fickle that it cannot even find the value of this, because it feels deep down, I don't know if I can follow the truth. And I bet you, it's not a challenge, it's our own scrutiny. You start watching your own actions since you open your eyes in the morning and try to make a list of things, how many truthful and how many untruthful actions you do. First to you within, and then to your next person, and to the next, and to the next. My list is just too long. I can talk about my list, because we are all on the path. And with the beyond, the thing is that even when the reason it is called beyond is because it is beyond. When you think you have become that drop into the ocean, this ocean will become 1 million times bigger, and you will still be on the path, because this is the ultimate truth, and truth takes your test moment by moment. Every single moment right now, what is happening in your mind is also evaluation, and that evaluation is also test. Are you here for your heart, or are you here for a mind? Does it make sense, Arsena?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
this is your first time, so
I'm totally getting it.
Yeah. So that is why this becomes really this is our tagline for the business, education, determination, and success. But it is such a common thing right now, what we are all educating ourselves. For what? To find the divine or the truth, the ultimate truth. Because, this truth penetrates. This truth, and I'm sure that all of us know, that especially in India, I don't know here how does it work, but in India, when the person dies, in olden times, now everything is modernized, but in olden times when the person dies, he is put on a cot, and 4 people carry the 4 legs of the cot, and when they take him to the grounds, to cremation grounds, they say the name of God is the only truth. The name of God is only truth. They keep repeating that. So now how to become that truth? But they remember it when they are taken to the cremation ground. After that, we all forget. Then we go back, okay, let's go take a shower. I have to go to work. I was late because of bringing this person. All these things come. So here is a very nice story I want to share. who is truth, how do we know? So again, Kenny and all know that I start always with the story of a saint. So here was a saint who lived with his wife. And generally the saints are all very normal people. They have family, they have kids and everything. So there was a seeker who wanted to know the truth. He got to know this about the saint. So he went and he knocked at the door, and his wife came. So he said, "I want to meet with the saint. Where is he?" And the his wife goes, "You know what? Somebody had died, so Mr. Saint has gone to the cremation ground to do the whatever the procedure is." So he goes, "Okay, how do I recognize him? Because I have never seen him." She goes, "When you go to procession, there would be a light burning on his head, like a candle light will be burning on his head. And you will be able to recognize him. Not everybody will have that light." So he said, "Okay." So people were going to the cremation ground and he started looking. Now he sees that every single person has a little light on their heads, you know. So he got confused. He said, "She told me that he is the one who's gonna have the light. Here I see light everywhere." So he quickly ran back to the house and he goes, "Mrs. Saint, I went to the procession. They are still on their way. And when I go there, I am finding out that everybody has a light on their head. What's going on?" She goes, "That's okay. Because at this moment, they are all walking over there. They know the truth, that this life is not the truth, the death is truth." Why? Because the consciousness is still alive. That's it. But she says, "You will be able to really find him when people are coming back. So don't worry, just go back and join the procession." So now this person goes and he walks with the rest of the people, and everybody's light is on, including his own. So now they burned the person, everything happened, all the ceremonies finished, done. And now people are going back and he starts to see that they are losing. People don't have that light thing on their head. And he's going, "Oh, what is going on? This guy I know, he had it, she had it, now no more light." But then when he starts walking and people are walking and walking, he sees there is one guy walking, his light is on, that is not going. So he starts to chase that saint, person he didn't know. And he chases him and he follows him to the house. And then he tells him that, "I'm the seeker, I'm looking, and tell me why your light did not go off. Everybody's dead." And then saint told him that when you are losing the body, you are in that frame of mind where your heart comes up. At that time the level of mind, it is down. You are only looking everything at the level of heart, your love for that person, for love for other person. At that time you can see what is the reality. But as soon as you burn that person, cremation ground, body went to dust, everything, their minds start to come up again and it covers the heart. But the one who is connected to the truth or the divine, nothing has changed. Now it is not that he's gonna come home and beat the heck out of his wife, "You are not real." No. It is his wife, it is his worldly duty to deal the house, to deal with his wife, with his children, but he is still connected to the truth. So when we get here, our purpose are to become the truth. For becoming the truth, it's a journey. Now, if a child is 1 month old, 1 year old, and they want their father's business, father is not gonna give to a 1 month old child his business, right? Even if he wanted to, he cannot. Even if he saw, "My goodness, my 1 month old child drinks milk like crazy, like a 20-year-old, still he cannot, because he knows better. So when that consciousness sees us, because it is truth, it tests us by its own ways. And he puts us through those tests and boom, we fall. We are not ready. Boom, we fall. We get up very quickly and we claim, because we are minds. I did this, I did this. Sometimes when we get into meditation, there is a requirement. You have to meditate. You go to office and do a job for 8 hours. You need to meditate also, right? We go like 1 hour of meditation, nothing changed in my life. It doesn't work this way. You are asking to be true. And as I said, I think it's a good homework, to go and start evaluating our own selves and see. Because when we go into the divine, what are actions, what are reactions, how do they work, why they are more effective, why the life turns out to be the way it turns out. There are two brothers in a family, three brothers in a family, one wins lottery and he doesn't care about rest of the brothers, right? Practical examples, he buys a mansion, 10 cars and luxurious life. The other brother is in some dumb place, because they didn't get along. Why? They were coming from the same house, but they brought their own destiny. Why? It's action and reaction, and we will not get into all those details today. But if we understood even a little bit the meaning of true desire, the true school, the true teacher, very necessary. I'm not that true teacher. I'm just doing a class because I know that all of us need a true teacher. But I am blessed to share this that I was able to find. Now, did I have a true desire? I think so. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been driven. Did I go find? No. I was driven. That mercy, 100% mercy, that I can share with you. 100% grace comes. 100% helping big hand comes if the desire is true. So we throw it back to them, God is really, I don't know about that guy. But it is not about that guy. It's our attitude. How do we feel? How do we go? And just one thing, if our desire to find that divinity within us become truthful, I bet you anything, everything will fall in its own place because that is also the divine law. So I think we will leave it at that place and we call this session as enlightenment through meditation because by first knowing this, then absorbing it, then believing in it, then doing it, then not looking for results for it, ultimately when the time is right it shall be given to us, then absorbing it again and sharing with others openly without hiding it. These are all the steps. So the ocean of divinity, it's like a river. It's a flowing, right? It depends on how far are we, how long it's gonna take, if we are willing to go in, how much. Some people might say, I like this water, looks really pretty and blue, but I don't want it. I mean, it's a possibility. And somebody says, I don't care, they take the clothes off and jump in. I don't want to think how deep it is. There are different, the scale goes from anywhere 1 to 100. But when all this does happen, we need to develop the true desire, the first step. If that comes, everything else will fall. So then the next session we will do about what is true desire, how it turns into a true desire. How do we know it's a true desire that we really have? Because every time when we get into meditation, we hear be desireless, be desireless. And here I am saying we have to have a desire. Why I am being contradictory? All these things when we go to the next session, probably next Saturday, we will be able to share. And thank you very much. If there is a question or two, maybe I can go really quickly. Anybody new? Arsena, do you have
I mean, I totally understand. Like, what I'm going through right now, I'm totally putting it together. It makes sense.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, it totally
What about you? Did you have any question?
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it make any sense to
Yes,
you at all?
yes.
Oh, that's
You
good.
know what? I got a connection when you said, then the truth is the light.
Yeah.
The truth is the light, which I'm teaching in my catechism class right now, talking about the truth to the children, about being truthful to themselves, which that was a really good, very good lesson.
Oh, that's good.
So truth is light.
That's good. That's
I know, but no, it's the easy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same. I mean, not that way, but the story. Like, I just put everything together of what I'm going through right now. And it totally makes sense. Like when you said, like, if it's not the time, it's not, like, it's not the time right now. So I'm putting that together with what I'm going through right now. So it totally made sense. And I'm glad that I'm here.
Oh, that's good.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
that's good. Yeah, anything and everything. Probably when we walk into, when we started the classes, a lot of my clients or other people who know, so they asked me the question, they said, when everybody came, did you put them into meditation? And I go, they'll be meditating what? What I can put them into meditation? Their troubles? Or what? What is your definition? Did you put them? First, we have to be on the same page. We must know what we are meditating on, and then we can meditate. Because the beauty of this meditation is also we have to become just the children. What does a baby know? Nothing. What do we know? Oh my God, we know way too much than we need to know. So we need to empty it out and become the baby and start crying into whatever we call meditation. So I think that is what, if the last slide, 4 things that I put, and we take really one thing from there, do we have the desire or do we want to get into learning more, then that's good. And evaluating rather than pointing, circumstances are not good, I cannot do it. My mother is not good. My father bosses me around too much. My brothers bug me too much. Things like those we get out of all this and say, you know what? I have desire. When I'm in the bathroom taking a shower, there is nobody who can bother me. I will talk to myself. At that moment, the 100 millionth of second of that, fraction of that second that I get to myself, that's enough. There is nothing needed. Hours are not needed. Appointments are not needed with consciousness. Doesn't care. Close the eyes, go within, always available. Everything is happening within the body. That is the power. Power is operating all the time. It's just us making the time, making our face, going in that direction and saying, I realize you're already there waiting for me. So anytime you guys start to walk, make that list and move on to that, that will be a great thing to do for the week. And then when we meet, we will go into the second part, what is a true desire and how to cultivate that.
Question from the internet top. The question reads, what if I am not encouraged enough to find that solitude when I am meditating? The things that I try and concentrate on, of that nothingness, that I am able to find that, but it seems that my distractions are too great. What is it that can help center and focus me? Am I not beginning the meditation right, or am I not doing the meditation itself right?
Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. So the second part of our meditation goes into true meditation. And what does it mean? Each letter has a frequency to it. Ocean of consciousness also has a frequency. I can use this. So when we get into meditation, through the path of the masters and through the real teachers, we have got to know the word which is called Sat Nam. SAT, Sat means truth, and NAAM means name. Okay, so this is the truth and this is the name, because the general consensus is name of truth. Whatever we remember or whatever company we are in, that is what we become. So when we are in the company of truth, not from the body, not from the mind, but from the connection, we become that truth. So Sat is a truth, Nam is name, which is Sat Nam. When we meditate on the name Sat Nam, we really don't have to do anything, because each letter has a frequency within itself. When the letters come together, they make a bigger frequency, and this whole thing makes even a bigger frequency. This is just like that drop of that bigger ocean. This frequency matches with this frequency, although it is very small. By repeating this name, the resonance of this frequency becomes so big, so huge, that the soul is pulled into that over consciousness by itself. So the only one thing that we have to do is in love, because consciousness or the meditation in divine is game of love, and it is pure love. You cannot fool divinity because it is made up of pure love, pure, like 100% pure. If you take a can of milk or something, how white and pure it is, if you put a teeny bit of dark color speckle in it, it comes out, it shows. Divinity is 1 millionth fraction of that, it will know. Millions layer down, it will know that. So therefore, if you are truthful to you, truthful to you, not to anyone else. People go and go, you know what, I'm so honest, I do things. It really doesn't matter if you think today, right now, I'm the most dishonest person. It really doesn't matter to me. And if you think I'm the most honest person on the earth plane, that doesn't help me either. Because I know where I stand. Really, I know exactly. So I don't need to be told where I am. And whatever you are telling me, if I have the courage, I will say, you know what, that's not really true. But it's not necessary. It's not needed. So therefore, when we repeat this Satnam, this frequency, which is pure frequency of that, this will go and merge into that. That simple it is, that you sit in one place, close your eyes and start repeating the name Sat Nam, Sat Nam, and then you don't have to say it with the mouth either. You can say within yourself with thought. And I'm sure that when you are driving, or when you are in the shower, or when you are folding clothes or doing laundry, you have some time to yourself. And that is the time, if the connection is pure and truthful, this will be charged, it will be put in your account, because this thing is so pure. When you go into purity, every moment that you dedicate to it goes in that account, and it comes back to you million folds. That's the law, because this is the ocean of grace, love, mercy and forgiveness. So you make one error, but you admit to yourself that I made this error, and yes, I was wrong, and I want. But then you should be wanting. Your tears should be coming to you, not to prove to anyone, but to you that you did. It's forgiven already. Because your Father is within you, where you have to go. But we don't want to believe it. We don't believe it. We cannot believe it because we evaluated the mind. Where is that consciousness? No one can. Nobody by the name of consciousness is sitting here, and it will never sit, because it is the game of heart and game of a thought process. So I hope I answered your question. And if there is any more, no?
That's good.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure these programs are recorded, so you can hear them again at your time. If you have any questions, just write them down, or next time when we do the session, you can share with us. We are here also on Wednesdays. Wednesday is a shorter session, more focus on Satnam, but we are here. So we would always enjoy your presence, joining us from nationally and internationally. We appreciate your presence. Thank you. Excuse me?
Happiness is not.
And always remember that, one of the things we always push education, determination and success, but in the meditation or anywhere else, remember that happiness is not too far. It's really not too far. It's too close to you, within your heart, sitting right now, and you can get to it. Just remember the last 4 things, work on it, and we will join you again. Thank you so much, and Satanam.